So Lenny, welcome. We're here today to celebrate the great St Kilda men who wore the illustrious number 7. Mate, your rap sheet is unbelievable. 297 games over 16 years, 3 Trevor Barker awards, 8 top 3 best and fairest placings, All-Australian, Norm Smith medalist, captain of the Saints, current assistant coach of the GWS Giants. But everyone watching here today doesn't really care about that anymore. The only thing they want to be, the only thing they're interested in is your favourite True Believer event. And does Monty Del Monte still keep in touch?
Mate, well, it's an interesting question, mate, because I'm now living in Sydney, and for some reason, I bump into her every now and again up here in Sydney. There's a certain time of year that Monty Del Monte is out in full force, and it was an interesting lunch, mate, that one. But it was it was a good lunch. But my favourite probably event is that September lunch, and I went to one a couple of years ago. I reckon everyone's in fine form, everyone's having a good time, and that one will go down in history as my favourite event, mate. A few beers, a few ex-Saints legends, a lot of people that love the club, all having a good time together, mate. So you can't beat that.
Yeah, personally, I'd prefer to see a 2 in front of the 7, but what did wearing the number 7 mean to you? And in your mind, who was the most famous number 7 to wear the Mighty Saints jumper?
Look, I think to answer that, the second part, I'd have to say Nicky Winmar. And there's a little bit of a story about that. But when I first got drafted, I was living in Canberra at the time, but I had probably a week to sort of get ready and then travel down to Melbourne. So I came back to Sydney, and John Beveridge came up to visit the family and introduce himself. And obviously he was the head of recruiting back then, and I did a number of roles. But he came up and had lunch on the Sunday. And we were sitting around having a barbecue, and that's when he said, look, we'd like you to wear the number 7. And I think, initially I thought, fuck, how good's this? Like, Nicky Winmar's jumper. I jumped at the chance, and then as it sunk in, I thought, shit, I better be able to get a kick, because this bloke's, one of the all-time greats, and he just finished up at the club, and to be offered that number was a huge honour. But I certainly felt a little bit of pressure coming down, and a kid from Sydney who hadn't proven himself, and they'd offered me this jumper that I knew the history behind it. I couldn't run, not quick. I couldn't jump. I couldn't mark it like Nicky. I wasn't a great kick like him either. So I thought when I got down to the club and I'm looking around,
hopeless, man.
looking around at some of these superstars. But no, it was good, and I enjoyed playing that jumper for sure.
Mate, to be honest, when you ask for his signature, do you ever finish it off with the number 7 still?
Look, only if it's a Saints jumper.
Bullshit. No. So you're an integral part of the GWS coaching staff. You've got a big game coming up next Saturday. What will it take to get you to the True Believers lunch on Friday?
Well, look, when it comes to important events in one's life, you just make exceptions. So I'll just have to tell Leon that I won't be able to be there for the captain's run. He can do all the planning and prep, and I'll just rock up game day.
Fantastic.
Hopefully with not as big a hangover as I had last time I went to one of those events.
And finally, mate, you faced your fair share of adversity throughout your career. 2 knees, open heart surgery, roving to a 6'3" ruckman. The Saints are doing it tough at the moment. If you had any advice to the players, what would it be?
Pull your finger out, you blokes. No, I'm only joking. Look, and both of you you and I have played in teams that have, struggled over the years being at the Saints. When we first got to the club, we weren't doing too well. But there's no easy way out of situations like that. You obviously need to work hard, which, I'm sure they are. And there's some good young players on that list, and if they can stay together, develop together, and really drive each other, they'll be fine. So I can see it turn around pretty quick.
Thank you, mate. Well, thanks for today. Good luck for the finals. I look forward to seeing you back at the Saints at some stage in the future. But mate, all the best.
Good on you, Blakey.
Thanks,
mate.
Cheers.